So the Miami Beach mayor just issued an executive order prohibiting alcohol sales after 8 p.m. Eastern, because if you don't drink beer, you won't catch COVID, but only if you don't drink beer after 8 p.m. Let's talk about it. So I wanted to bring this report to you all's attention because it's a little bothersome. It's troubling because of the precedent it sets going forward and the lack of common sense involved with the decision. So this is reported by the Miami Herald. Miami Beach is reimposing a citywide curfew as coronavirus cases keep shooting up. Okay. And the curfew will be from 12:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. every day. City manager Jimmy Morales told the city commission in an email on Wednesday. The curfew takes effect on Thursday. This will reduce social interaction and help police with the enforcement against loitering, Morales said. There is nothing else to do after midnight. I'm confused because I don't understand. If you're loitering by yourself or, with a couple of members of your family, which obviously you are not going to social distance from your family, as long as you're not infringing on someone else's right by standing near them, breathing in their face, not wearing your mask while talking to them, shouldn't be an issue. But it's the wrong reason to reinstitute the curfew. Now it also says after the curfew order, which Morales signed on Wednesday, also prohibits retail stores from supermarket chains to neighborhood liquor stores from selling alcohol after 8 p.m. So I just need to understand this so I can make sure I'm not the crazy one, okay? I could go put gas in my car, buy a bag of Doritos, maybe buy some condoms, maybe some Flamin' Thought Cheetos. I'm not a thought, but I know some people who like Flamin' Thought Cheetos. But at 8:01 p.m., if I decide to buy that combination of goods in conjunction with a blue moon, because I'm a blue moon drinker, I like my blue moon. If I buy that conjunction of goods with the blue moon at 8:01 p.m., medically, according to the mayor of Miami Beach, I'm a dead man. I will get COVID. The likelihood of me getting COVID after buying beer after 1 p.m. from a grocery store or a gas station just dramatically, 8:01 p.m. specifically, it just dramatically increases the likelihood that I'll get. Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes no sense, people, whatsoever. This is once again reactionism at its finest. See, the problem that we have here, we have a couple problems here. I don't know if y'all remember, but I said that the narrative of the quote unquote looting and rioting was a nonsensical narrative, that it wasn't a real narrative. It should never have been dominating the conversation. We should have never been having to have debates about it, because even though there may have been very few isolated instances, we saw more instances of police brutality against peaceful protesters. Peaceful protesters being arrested for absolutely nothing except for exercising their First Amendment right. And yet the focus kept being put on looting and rioting. And then, of course, they subsequently used the quote unquote looting and rioting as the reason to institute a curfew, which by definition was anti-constitutional, unconstitutional. It's antithetical to everything we know the First Amendment to be, because the right to assemble is guaranteed as long as you are not violating a constitutional right or violating someone else's constitutional rights, right? And that includes protesting. So as long as you are not violating, it doesn't matter if the city wants to institute some nonsense, as long as you're not violating your constitutional rights to someone else's, then you were allowed to assemble. And I said that this was a problem because Well, it didn't make any sense, to be quite frank. You weren't even stopping the looting in the daytime. Let alone in the night, let alone in the evening. But I said even at that point that it was just a test to see how far they can go, see what they can do without the crowd reacting. Now fast forward, they're reinstituting, or they did, reinstitute a curfew for Miami-Dade and Miami Beach, and they once again extended beyond that in Miami Beach, where now you can't even buy alcohol at a gas station after 8 p.m. And they say that, oh, well, the curfew is reinstituted because of the fears of coronavirus. Hold up, trap. It's not what y'all told me. Y'all told me that the curfew was in place because of rioters and looters, and it was for the safety of the community because the protests had gotten out of control. So you just gonna shift the narrative that quick? So, oh man, you know what's crazy? Y'all know what else happened? When the last time you heard anybody complaining about some rioters and looters? When the last time you seen tweets about that? When the last time your favorite conservative covered that? Any type of rioting and looting over the last week? Well, why do they have to? They got the curfews they wanted. I mean, would you accept the curfew just because of COVID existing? Like, no, that's why they didn't present it to you just because COVID was existing. But they say, oh, these protests provided a unique opportunity for us. Let's say rioting and looting is causing, people to feel unsafe in the community. And let's use that then to the curfew. Because everybody knows, because listen, once again, people, you can still go to restaurants. You can still go to grocery stores. They close the restaurants at 12 now, but you can still go to restaurants. You can still go to grocery stores. You can still go to gas stations. You can still go to your doctor's appointments. You can even still go to some retailers. You can still go to your barber. But after 8 p.m. specifically, you can't buy alcohol. Oh man, what takes the cake on this one is, in a weird surprise, even Miami Beach is like the beach itself. It's still open. So you can still go to the beach. You do everything I just talked about as long as you're not in that location after 12 and you're not buying alcohol in that location after 8 p.m. Because I guess there has been some study that proves that you're more susceptible to COVID-19 after 8:01 p.m. I keep being told about restriction after 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 restriction. Where my solutions at, B? Where my solutions? I covered in another video earlier this afternoon, interferon. Cuba has used it. China has used it as well. They have seen a whole lot of success. Hydroxychloroquine is finally being admitted to being a useful drug when combined with zinc. CNN just reported its effectiveness from a study that was launched in March. We have solutions, but instead, the warp speed program created by the federal government just gave 1.6 billion to Big Pharma, a company to create a vaccine in record time for a disease they could never create a vaccine for in the past. Everyone is constantly, not everybody, but a lot of the local governments are reacting to headlines by restricting more. Why is it that people think that we want more restrictions? Like that's how you win an election, is through restrictions. That's not the case. You win elections by offering solutions and calling out those who refuse to explore those solutions. Me buying alcohol, I gotta go to this gas station at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., which is like the height of gas station use in my opinion. At least it is in Miami, because everybody's getting off work around 4. Y'all know we supposed to get off at 5, but it's Miami. We like getting off at 4 because we don't really like going to work. It's nice outside and shit. So at 4 or 5 p.m., 3 p.m. on a Friday, that's whenever gas station use is at its highest around here in the city area, at least. Not at 8 p.m., but I'm pretty sure that like COVID doesn't take a break during your 9 to 5 work hours. I don't know if that's how it works. I'm not a scientist, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a science wizard. Okay? But I'm just guessing based off of some comic books that I read. That's not the case. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh man, headline, let's react to it. Oh man, headline, let's react to it. Oh, the only headline y'all won't react to are, wow, there are some viable solutions for COVID to make all this nonsense not even necessary. Yeah, see about that. Can't use any of those. We don't make enough money off of those. Somebody please explain to me what is it doing to prohibit the sale of alcohol? You know what's even funnier? They're like, man, because you were already closing bars and restaurants by 12. This was already a thing. That kind of made some sense because you didn't want clubs to then open up and then kind of take advantage of it because people were really close in when it comes to clubs in Miami. Okay, cool. I get it. But you were already doing that. So why prohibit the sale after 8 p.m., so the selling of alcohol after 8 p.m.? And then 2, what the hell is the curfew about? For why? Okay, I'm going to tell y'all about a little secret about us South Floridians, okay? Especially us Miamians. We do most of our partying and drinking in the daytime because it's nice here and it sucks everywhere else in the world, okay? Just letting y'all know. It's really, really nice in Miami, not just in June, not just in July, but in February, in December, in October, in Fodember. That's right, I just made up a month. Why? Because we live in Miami, and if it was a month, it would be nice during the day, during that month too. Okay? We drink a lot in the daytime. We party a lot in the daytime. In fact, I would say that once again, arguably, that most of our partying and drinking is done in the daytime. But our curfew was at 12. You know how much drinking I've been through on a Saturday before 12 a.m.? Boy, you'll be lucky if I make it to 12 a.m. Sweet baby Jesus, we gets it in. And it starts at 12 p.m. Maybe 11, depending on what kind of Friday I had. In other words, none of this makes sense. Any objective observer could see this. COVID is real. But the long-term effects that allowing the government to offer restriction after restriction after restriction while simultaneously denying any use of the viable solutions are more real and potentially more detrimental. When our government stops offering solutions but only offering restrictions, what would you call that? For me, I'd call it fascism. What would you call it? I'd like to know what your thoughts are about this. Like this video. Share this video. Leave a comment below. But always remember, more than anything else, people, find your balance. Peace. If you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa, don't forget to like the video and smash that subscribe button. Want access to members only live streams, behind the scenes footage, and other premium content? Well, you can endorse us on Rockman Premium, become a patron through Patreon, or you can sign up for the MCSC Premium membership through YouTube. All the links are in the description below. But hey, more than anything else, always remember,
Find your balance.
Find your balance.
Find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Find your balance. Find your balance.
Always remember, more than anything else, find your balance.
peace.